Hi, good morning. Welcome to Chris and on Guy to Be Wrong. And again, we appreciate you following us. Thank you so much. Continue following, and please write your comments, subscribe, and we want your comments so we can make this better for you and for ourselves, right? We all learning from this. It's a great experience. It's great to do this. Today topic is going to be about brides overseas mainly, because that's where most of the problem is overseas. The norm, sadly, is the norm to do business in many countries overseas. What do you think about that?
I mean, the in other countries, even the cops take brides from the people when they in like a parking stop, in a traffic stop or something. They will ask you for a couple of dollars. But it's not just that. It's also if you're like building something and you want the permits to go through, you have to give them the city employees money to approve your papers.
So let's go. Let's make sure that we tell the people. So, I mean, again, we're not experts on this. We're just giving our opinion, of course. But who's worse, the person giving the bride or the person taking the bride?
I'm giving morally.
Well, morally, they're both wrong.
Of course.
No, but I'm talking about the impact that has in society.
That's the thing. Is the society is a thing that society has built. It's not like like this is systematic. It's everybody. Everybody is doing it, and I don't think most Americans will even understand the level that this thing.
Well, Americans will. Let me tell you something. I have given a bride. I have given many brides in my life. Not me. Okay, and again.
Overseas,
not in the United States. Thank you, United States, for being great. But a bride is this is my take. The bride is when the person asking for the service pays to either have a faster service or get to be put on top of the line, right? But when the person that's supposed to provide the service is asking you for money for the service that's supposed to be free, then it's an extortion. You know, both of them are crimes, of course. Both of them are crimes. But one is an extortion and one is a bribe. You know, so I mean that's my take on that. I don't know.
But it is a structure. It's like the society itself works like that. Like some people, the guy that is charging for extortion here. Yeah. We will take that money and go there and pay a bride.
I want to tell you this is what happened to me in Peru. I'm from Peru, and this actually happened to me. It's sad. This is one of the many times that I had to pay bribes. But I was in a taxi. This happened about what 25 years ago, long time ago. I was in a taxi and a car hit us from the back. Bam! I was a passenger, and the guy's car got totaled. I mean, the bag was gone. I'm happy that nothing really happened to me, but the car was really bad damage, you know. And there was a cop across the street from where we were. So the guy that hit our vehicle tried to run away. Luckily, there was another car and blocked him. So we went to get the cop to come in to grab the guy before he ran. And the cop said this, and it's amazing with this guy. Hopefully things have changed, but he said, "Oh, that's not my area." We're like, "What?" He's across the street. Yeah, but I'm here. So
you have to go all the way there.
So we gave him a bill for 20 soles at that time.
And that time it was like 1-to-1 with the dollar. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember. But so now he comes to the scene and he's just looking, and he's talking to somebody, and then they come to me and they say he wants another 20 because he needs to write the report. And I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah." So we pay him another 20. So now he took his little notepad and he started writing. And then he comes to me again and says, we got to go to the prison, but, I'm assigned here. So we had to give him another 20 to go to the prison so he can do the paperwork. At this time, we already gave him 60, right? So we go, he goes inside with the two drivers. They go inside, they do whatever they're doing, and he comes back out. And he's asking for 40 because he had to pay the person that's going to type the report. So now we are in 100 soles for something that should be done completely free. So at this time, I say to myself, okay, listen, I've done as much as I could. Is their problem now. Let them handle it. So as I'm leaving, the cop chasing me, and he says, "Hey, you forgot my lunch and my beer." So now we have to give him another 20 for his lunch and his beer. That actually happened to me. I was like, to this day, I can't believe that's how it is. But that's how it is in many countries.
Of course, it's insane.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and that's why society in many countries are the way they are.
I was asking my sister about this, and she told me that one time she was in South America, in Ecuador, and was with my uncle. And for some reason, the cop stopped him. No, it wasn't even like a traffic accident like that. I don't know, maybe he crossed a red line. Who knows? But the cop stopped him. And as soon as my uncle saw the guy, he opened the glove compartment and he had a couple, $200 there. Right? So, took the 200, when the cop came and said, "Oh, yes, I see it, I'm sorry, here it is." And start leaving. And my sister told him, "But why 200? Usually it's 20, 25, but 200. I said, no, it's because the car that you're driving probably. But look, we are in a new Mercedes-Benz. There's no way they're going to let me go with 20. This is a $200 car.
Yeah, wow. It's amazing. Countries, in many, I told you, I think the worst countries as of right now is Africa. Africa is, you pay for everything. I mean, there's nothing that you do in Africa, or I shouldn't say most countries in Africa. Everything that you do in Africa that has to be done by an official. And when I say an official, it's like somebody got to approve it, sign it, or do something. You have to pay the person, you have to pay the person. In many countries, women get, they even ask for sex favors.
Okay.
It's like that's how bad. I mean, that's how big this stuff is.
No counting the African countries, right?
Because Asia is also the same.
Yeah, but you have Asia, Europe. No, you go to England. England is kind of normal, but Germany is insanely.
Yeah, Germany is also pretty bad.
Insanely corrupt. There is I don't know. I would say like 5 years ago or something. Some reporter was able to take a photo of the judge list. That's how they call it, or they call it something like that. That it was basically like a menu.
Yeah.
That it says, drug crime, this amount to be free. Killing, this amount. So they have a list of how much it will cost. Depends of the crime that you committed to let you go free.
I mean, when because corruption and taking bribes are so big. I mean, I remember Pablo Escobar from Colombia. I mean, the guy.
Hero.
He
was a hero.
He built his own jail. I mean, who gets to do that? Who gets to? Yeah, I go to jail, but I have to build it the way I want it. I mean, come on. I mean, that guy was paying bribes to everybody. He was basically it was
including the European, the Canadian.
But I tell you this, and again, this is why I keep saying there's a difference between extortion and bribes, because what he was paying wasn't bribes. It was an extortion.
Mhm.
Because the way he worked was either you take it or I kill you. You know? So that's it. Those were your two options. You take the money or I kill you and your family.
Of course.
You know, so that's not a bribe.
And the guy got elected for senator.
Yeah, actually he did win.
Like
Yeah.
no, like also that I don't think Americans will kind of understand these the all these bribes and all of those things. In other countries, is not seen as bad as in America.
Yeah, well,
It's just not. It's almost part of the culture.
but see, one of the differences is that in America, it's only bad when they get caught. It's not like I'm not going to say that our politicians are not doing it because you know I don't know who's doing it,
But there are levels.
There's levels,
Like one
there's
to
levels.
let's say one that does not exist in the world, right?
yeah,
And,
yeah. There's no country that is
two,
free
maybe-
of this.
And maybe two, you will have Japan or something like that, right?
Yeah,
And then you have three is like America,
yeah.
and then you have tens. You know,
Oh yeah,
the
this
Africa
country
countries,
is
probably Colombia 20 years ago, because even now has went from 10 to now it's like a 8.
Let's not forget Mexico.
Mexico is like I honestly depends on what area of Mexico, right? Because Mexico is so huge that it is like different countries in one.
You see, one. So
The South is crazily corrupt.
we're in New York. We're in New York, right? And we don't see it. It's not in the open. We don't see it because it's not the norm. Like in New York, I don't go and say, hey, I need my birth certificate right now, or I need a passport right now, and there's no way I can pay. Hey, listen, I need a passport. Okay, come back in 3 days. No, I need it right now. You know, let me get. That's not going to happen.
Mhm.
You know, but
And you have tried.
I have tried. And just to let you know, they do have emergency passport. You just gotta pay a little extra, but it's on the books. 24 hours, you gotta pay extra service, but you don't pay an official person.
Of course.
Now, you can go to many countries because that's it happened in Peru also. So.
And Peru is not even the worst.
Peru is not the worst.
Peru is like maybe like a 6.
Yeah,
you
Peru's
know?
like a 6, somewhere around there. You know? But you can go and get a passport. Let me tell you a story about Peru. Let me tell you this. You know, when you know, I came here when I was a kid. So one day I went to Peru. I think I was like 16, right? I was 17. All right, I was 17 and I was in Peru and I went to visit my grandparents. And when I went there, they had the toque de queda, which is called like after like 9 o'clock at night, you cannot go in the streets, and they were stopping everybody and asking for papers. So my grandfather, I got there, and you know, of course, first day one, we're going out, and day two, he asked me, "Wait, do you have papers?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got my passport." "Well, no, do you have Peruvian papers?" Like, "No, I don't have nothing Peruvian." So he goes out there, you know, and then I told him, this is like in the morning. So we're eating breakfast, and he's like, "Let me get your passport," you know. So I give him my passport. He disappears. He just walks away. I'm with my grandmother. We talking, you know. Then we I helping my grandmother cook lunch, you know, and he comes, and he gives me my passport back, and then he gives me, at that time it was a pink military papers. It was a blue military papers and a pink. You know, in Peru they had that when you vote, like you had to put your finger and all that stuff. I forgot what I call it, but I don't know the name of it.
So electoral.
Electrical, yeah. So that's how your papers for you to walk around. And he gave it to me, and he said, "You cannot. It's a military. If the cops stop you, you cannot do it because you have a problem with your back." And I said, "What?" And he said he gave me papers that I can vote, and he gave me a military papers that I cannot serve. So he just stopped me because in Peru, it's mandatory to do military service. He just took him 2 hours. When came back, put this in your pocket. No matter where you go, carry this, just like that. I didn't even have to go. I was like, how we took my picture? They used my passport picture.
Don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it. Yeah, this was 20 some years ago. So it just hopefully it's not happening anymore.
It's not happening at all.
It's not. Yeah.
It's-
I hope not. I hope it's not. But that's how easy it was.
Mhm.
That's how easy it was
Mhm.
for someone. It wasn't even me doing it. He did it.
Of course.
He went somewhere and got all these official documents, put in your pocket. Wait till you go out.
I personally have never give anybody a bribe, but not about like based on morality. I would love to say that's the case.
I don't want to wait in line.
No. It's because you have to be cool. Too cool to give a bribe. You have to do the shake thing, like. In my case, was like, I'm sorry. What you need? Okay. What do you need? It's like.
you
You're not
know,
supposed to do it like in front of everybody.
you know that this. You just remind me. There's a movie. I love this movie because I want to get off topic, but it's a bride. It's a bride. So the lady husband dies, right, and his retirement pension check came. It was a lot of money because in Spain they give you like a one lump sum. So the wife doesn't know what to do. And the teller knows that the husband just died. So the teller is telling the wife, well, if you bring a sign and you say that he's sick and he cannot come, I will change it for you. And she's like, okay. So she goes home, she signs it, and then she goes back to the bank. And the teller is like, oh, so why he's not coming? Because he's sick. Oh, okay. So he signed the check? No, I did. He said, what do you mean? Well, you told me to sign it. But you cannot tell me that. You cannot tell me that you signed it. But you told me to sign it. Yeah, but I can take it now.
Yeah, of course. Now you want to go to another branch.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, because you told me that you signed it. That's illegal. But you told me to sign it. But you don't have to tell me that you did. That's how you are.
Yeah. You got to be cool.
Yeah.
If you're not cool, you cannot give bribes.
Yeah, it's actually it's horrible for the economy of many countries, and it's horrible for companies because one of the problems with this is in the whole thing is, and that's why when you look at construction companies, right? There's only a few that are huge because those are the only ones that can get the big contracts because they pay the bribe. So the middle and the small companies don't develop, don't grow because they can never go to that step. They can never build a road. They can never build a complex. They can never. Why? Because they don't have the bribe money. And that's the problem. Every time somebody builds a stadium or an airport, you know how much money they have to pay just to get the contract? And so if you're like a middle company, you can't. It's impossible. You barely have enough money. And that's the part that affects everybody. Because at the end of the day, right, who actually ends up paying for this? The taxpayer. Yeah. So something that should have cost you, 300 million. I'm just giving a number for let's say a bridge. Now it's costing you 900 million because everybody had to get the cut.
No, the whole society collapses when you have these brides, and basically a cop is in a corner, and he has to get 20 people giving him brides because he was put in that corner by his lieutenant, so he has to pay him, and he has to pay the chief, and the chief has to pay the city representative, the city hall representative, and then he's going to of course give it to the mayor. So it's a whole chain of corruption. Nobody can go away of that, get away of any of these. And imagine you can even count on the cops.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Or there's no detectives or anything like that. Everybody's part of this thing.
There's I forgot the country, but there was this and they recorded it. It was funny because it was just, and they're still doing it up to this day. They didn't change it. So there's this company. I want to say that the entrance of the company is right here, right, and the road is here going this way, right. But there's an entrance right here like this, right. There's an entrance that they can go to take the road that goes this way. All the trucks from the company have to go this way, right? But it's an illegal turn. So if they have to make the right turn, which is go this way, they have to drive like 20 minutes straight to turn to come back here. So they all take this road. And there's a cop sitting right there. And you can see it when they pass, they just pay the cop. It's like a toll bridge, and they just automatically pay the cop. So there's a cop 24 hours there, just collecting money. Just they could just make an entrance, or they could just make that a pass for them. But no, why stop the cow cash? Why stop collecting? It's amazing. And this and like I said before, when this becomes the norm, it's a big problem. It's because the only people that get affected on all this, no matter who you are, is the low income, the poor people, because they cannot compete with the people that have money.
Of course, because we can joke about it, right?
Yeah.
But what if you're in a hospital?
Oh, the hospitals are the worst.
What if you are being charged for a crime that you did not commit?
Yeah.
Like when you start going serious, things go very dark, very fast.
There's hospitals that charge you for the bed.
Totally.
Like
public hospitals that you will have to give a bride. Cancer, especially cancer hospitals in South America, they are like hell because all of them are kept by these few companies. That is insane to even say it, but not everybody can treat cancer. Even if you study and you have the equipment, for you to treat cancer, you have to be licensed to treat cancer, and that license is pretty much impossible to get. Why? Because there is these few clinics that make crazy amounts of money, and because of family, I've been in one of those clinics, and it's like walking on hell. Like basically, you open the door of hell. Yeah. It's insanely horrible.
And that's the difference between, and we spoke about this in one of our other episodes. The difference between services, right? Countries that provide good services are usually countries that have very little corruption, because the money goes into the services of the citizens, right? Schools, hospitals, roads, bridges, and then to hospitals. And then there's countries that people have to build their own stuff. I mean, there's countries that people build their own bridges because the state would not do nothing for them because there's no money on it. And those are the people that are left behind.
And once again, in the States, absolutely you have corruption, and there are all these labels and all these things. You can just see the news and you will find out, but not even close to when you go to these these other countries, it's like insane.
Because it's one of the issues with that is. It's part of the normal living for them. If they need to go and get a service, they're paying for it. So when it comes to the services, and for instance, right, if you try to expand your house, and you building an extra room, and you getting the permit, and you putting money away for that, and the permits are going to cost you so much money. Now you have to save also for the bride, for them to actually approve the permit. That's a problem. And we're just talking about money, but in many countries, they even ask for sexual favors.
Not me. They got no ask me for.
Well, they have good taste.
But they no, but they
but
actually
in
do.
a serious manner, they
Yeah, no,
actually
they do.
Yeah.
Like you're a woman.
If you're a
and
woman,
this-
yeah.
oh my God, you are a screw.
Yeah, you are. If you're a woman,
If you're a woman, I'm pretty. You are over. I'm poor.
yeah,
Oh my, I pray for you.
and you need one of these services that's supposed to be provided for anybody. Yeah, you want to find somebody that say, well, if you do this for me, I do this for you. You know the famous saying, "You scratch my back, and scratch yours." You know, so it is a public issue. Honestly, I don't know which one is worse: the person giving the bribe or the person asking for the extortion. They both are terrible. But for that to work, for that to be in a system, you need both of them. You know, you take one of them out of the occasion, and then that's it. You know what I mean? So the only reason why we have this is because both parties agreeing to this. Maybe they don't want to, but at the end they say, okay, fine, let's just do it. You know, and again, if you got the money, to you it's okay. To you it's fine. Business as usual. But when you don't have the money, you see everybody else getting by. You know?
And yes, like Mexico, for example, because it's such a huge country, the level of corruption depends on where you are. So you, not in the border, of course, but when you cross the border, the north is actually very decent, and then you keep going down to the south, and it becomes more and more and more dangerous. And I know this because I remember my one of my brothers. He actually drove in a bike from New York all the way to South America, and he was telling me kind of making fun of this whole thing. He had a helmet with those cams, the cameras, and that helped him all the way to Mexico. He crossed all Mexico with no problems, because if a cop would stop him, they say, "Oh, is that camera working?" Yes. Oh, so go. But when he got to South America, the cops were like, "Is that camera working?" Yes. Hi. Give me $20. It makes no difference.
Makes no difference. Yeah.
You want to videotape me? Nothing matters.
Yeah, no, there's countries that that doesn't matter.
Does not matter.
It doesn't matter because everybody gets a cut out of it, and that's a reality. If the cop collects, let's say, I'm just going to give a number, and I pick country Y, country Y. The cop I'm not saying cop just as a reference, but if the cop collects 1,000 pesos, let's say pesos, he's going to go to his sergeant. Hey, sergeant, this is for your lunch, and then the sergeant is going to look at him and, what about my boss? He gotta eat too. Oh yeah, he's for the jefe.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a piece of it because you cannot do it on your own. It's somebody gotta watch out. Somebody had to look the other way.
And I'm not saying that there is no an answer. I have asked everybody, and everybody tells me that the people I have asked that they will never change. But I don't believe that at all. I think that it could change. Maybe technology will give us a hand. Maybe the new generations come more moral. Because it is a problem with the morality of society, or no?
I think at that type of level of corruption, it will end in the future, because in the future, and I'm not talking about now future, I'm talking about 50 years from now,
of course,
humans will not make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Everything will be computerized.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no, basically,
for it.
yeah, the people will not make any decisions. And when I say making any decisions, it's like, for instance, right, if you go and apply for a visa, right, right now, a human is actually deciding whether you come in or not. And a lot of times they're going to look at you. If they don't like you, they're going to say deny. And it would just write a comment like, "Oh, I know the person looks suspicious," whatever, keep giving wrong answers or whatever, because everybody has the same paperwork. It's the same application. Everybody takes the same pictures. Everybody has the same proofs. You see what I mean? The person making the final decision is somebody. That person is either going to tell you yes or no. There's no way around it. You see what I mean? It's different when a computer gets all your stuff and just picks either by random or picks based on what I'm getting. This person got more points or whatever. You know what I mean? The computer is not looking at you. It's just reading your information. So as long as we have humans, and I mean us, like you, I'm a human, I think. You know, as long as we have people in the decision-making process, it's going to happen. You know why? Because at the end of the day, power is something that only very, very few people can handle. You know, very few people can handle. Once people understand what power they have, and they don't understand what it can do, they abuse it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Especially like the most dangerous are the people that never expected to get power.
Yeah, those
You
are
know,
the worst. Yeah, those are
and suddenly they get some power,
Yeah.
not even like a lot, like a little power.
Yeah.
They will squeeze that
Yeah.
one.
yeah. That's why it's no, and you're 100% right, and that's why most third world countries are third world countries because people keep electing dumbasses, people that should not be in office.
Okay.
And suddenly they were selling bananas yesterday, and now they're in a big office making budget decisions for millions and millions of dollars.
We should build a hospital.
Yeah, I mean the guy was selling bananas, and I'm just giving us a reference, but somebody was selling bananas yesterday. Now he's picking who's going to build at the next hospital. I mean, serious? You know what I mean? And,
But because all of this brings to merit.
yes.
You know, when you probably have like a classmates or whatever that were like very, very smart. They were the top of the class.
Yeah, that was me.
And and then when they graduate and when they go to work, they don't do well at all.
No.
They don't do well at all.
Yeah, but
not everybody, but I'm saying most.
Yeah, but we're talking about somebody that is already grown and somebody that is already doing something. And of course, I'm not saying that somebody that has a small business cannot be a politician. You should. But the reality is that in most countries, because I said we know, people keep electing people that should not be in office. And basically they go into the corrupted world. And now they've been told this is how it is. And because they don't have the experience, they don't have the knowledge, they cannot say no to it. You know, it's very, very difficult to say no when somebody's giving you everything. And then next thing you know, they say, well, if this is how you like it, this is what's going to happen. And then you just got to play along. I mean, it's part of that. When you already have that, it's easy for you to say no. What are you talking about? You already got that. You know, I don't need it. You know, what is this about? But when you never had it and they give it to you, then it's like a candy. And if you like it, then you want more. You know. But anyway, hopefully that changes, right? We do think that we will change in the future. I mean, things are changing. Technology is helping a lot because there's a lot of paperwork now that don't need requirements of dealing with people. So you don't have to go through that stuff. Some countries, again, would take longer than others. But again, I think
it will happen.
It's going to happen. I mean, not anytime soon, but eventually, you know, in 50 years by now, I think it's going to be...
Because it is a generational problem.
Yes.
Maybe the next generation comes with another mentality and they said, no, we're not going to tolerate this.
Yeah. No, things do get better little by little, but a given price, and again, there's a difference when you pay a price, because when you pay somebody, you are the problem. You're forcing that official, you're turning that official to do that. So now, if that official never took money and you gave money to that official that easily, that official is going to ask the next person, hey, I need $100 for that. And that's where the extortion comes. You made that person ask for money.
You were part of that.
Exactly. And that's how the whole circle goes around, you know? And again, just like most of the things, is always the less fortunate, the poor, that gets the end of the stick, you know?
Of course, they get no services, no
Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah.
because everybody's taking them all the money in the top.
So don't give bribes, okay? Don't give bribes. And if somebody asks you for an extortion,
Call-
record it. Well, don't call me, but record it. Call the police. You know, there's good officers, there's good police officers, there's good. There's a lot of people that care and do their job right. The only way to stop it is it starts with you. You know, it starts with you. If you don't do it, then that's one less person, and hopefully it keeps moving on that direction. Okay. You want to say anything else?
No, I think that covers everything.
Well, listen, thank you again. Please subscribe and leave your comments. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to us.